Let's go! Money talk, ideas fly. Nick on deck, Jeremy buy. Big move, small talk. Tune in, we don't waste time. Investor share, let's go. Investor share, one more. Nick and Jeremy in the zone. Investor share, that's home.
Welcome back to the Investor Shed podcast. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Nick Beveridge, and Jeremy is also excited. Welcome, Jeremy.
I feel like I'm just as excited as you are, Nick. I know when you got in the studio this morning, you were just bursting with energy, and I'm excited to channel that into whatever this is today.
American energy.
American energy. By the way, if you're watching the podcast today, thank you so much for watching. Check out, first of all, two things. I want you to look at two things. First, Nick's guns.
Oh,
dude's looking pretty fit right now. You're actually looking.
okay.
You're looking
hey,
very good.
I'm on day 3 of 75 hard.
Okay, well, you're looking very good,
Thank
and
you.
your shirt is also very American.
Getting into it.
When we got into the podcast studio, I was like, "Is it 4th of July?" Like in my head, I'm like, "Did I miss a month and a half of my life?" We're good.
Well, we could wait to put out this episode until 4th of July if we want.
Well, it's already live on Facebook. People are gonna start
it,
thinking
can't do
things are
that
weird
now.
if we do that. Nope. Happy to be here. Happy we're back recording, and we've got a really cool episode. Nick gave me kind of a teaser before we started about what we're talking about.
Oh my God, there's so much. There's so much going on. It will blow everyone's minds again.
Yeah. I love it too that right before you hit record, you're like, "Where's my phone?" And we're using Nick's phone to record the video.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to show you what I've been doing this last week with AI.
Yeah.
It is so exciting. It is so exciting, Jeremy. Here's what happened.
Okay.
Okay, we've been talking a little bit about AI agentic models, right?
Yeah.
And for those that are just tuning in and don't know what that is, it's basically, so everyone at this point has pretty much heard or played with like ChatGPT and stuff. A chat model where you can chat back and forth about stuff, and it's pretty smart, and it helps much better than Google, even though Google has it now too, programmed in.
Is it Gemini they have? It's
Yeah, Gemini.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
But it's just like if you're doing a Google search, it's like it's just
built
giving
in.
you the AI
Yeah.
version, which is actually really good too.
I actually like that too because it's nice to have just like, hey, here's what we scoured and here's what we found versus me having to try to dig for the information. So
Now here's what less than 10% of the heavy AI users are doing though. They've figured out a way to patch together AI agents. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of open source models and you might be thinking, what's an AI agent? Mm-hmm. That is, it's like a basically an always on machine that you can communicate with, and you can give it a personal personality if you want, and a name and all that stuff. But it's just something that kind of lives on your computer that can actually take action. Mm-hmm. You can ask it to do things on your computer, and it's basically its computer, and it can get stuff done for you on the go. A lot of people are using what's called OpenClaw, where it's just extremely customizable, like insanely customizable, where it can do tasks for you on the go as you need it to, and you have to. It's very tech heavy to set up. But there are AI models that help you set all this stuff up just by talking, like what you want. And then all the coding is done in the background with either Claude or now there's Grok Build available for Grok super users that pay at least $30 a month.
Okay.
The cool thing about Grok is that it is such an underrated tool for the heavy AI users. Everybody just talks about Claude and Anthropic, OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, Google, which has Gemini, and they are all, frontier labs.
Yeah.
But like just knocking on the door with almost, 90% of the abilities and pretty close to some other that they don't have is Grok.
Okay.
And Grok is extremely affordable compared to some of these other models. If you're using a lot of heavy agentic tasks and need to use API calls to do tasks instead of just your subscription.
Right. Okay, so that's where I was going to ask real quick. So obviously Grok Super is a $30 a month subscription versus the other ones where you're using credits. Is that how that goes?
Well, you can use subscriptions too, depending on what you're using.
Okay.
So with OpenClaw, a lot of people when it first came out, they were using their Claude OAuth subscription to run it.
Okay.
Basically, they already have a paid membership of either $20 a month or $100 a month or $20 a month. That $20 a month program with Claude gets you such little use. It's a joke, and it will cut you off real quick.
Sure. Okay.
Especially if you're using Claude most people are using it for coding and stuff, and it just gets heavy used real quick, and then it kind of shuts you off, and you're almost if you're using it for anything other than like one quick chat,
Right.
you need to upgrade to like the $100 a month plan or
Gotcha.
$200 a month plan where you just have a lot more usage. I'm on a $100 a month plan and I use it pretty heavily, but sometimes, depending on what I'm building, even that can tap out.
Okay, gotcha.
And that gives you like 5 times the usage of the $20 a month plan.
Crazy.
But the thing about this is like when you're on these monthly subscription plans, you're not paying more.
Right.
You know, if you hear some of these people that are using OpenClaw, they're paying $1,000 a month in API calls. So beyond their subscription usage, they have a token that their tool is using, and they're just paying credits to Anthropic, or building up these credits, and those credits are being used like metered. Their usage is being metered instead of the subscription, where it just kind of resets and gives you more tokens to use every 4 hours or so.
Gotcha.
And that's what a subscription does for the most part. And they're all a little bit different. But like for the most part, you know, if you're using Claude and then you run out, you kind of just got to wait till 4 o'clock or whatever the time it says. And then it's just like, then you can use it again. But it's not like it's going to charge you extra unless you need to use it.
It's your daily or couple hourly refresh or whatever it is. So you don't do a whole bunch of work at once. It kind of spreads it out to make you use the property or use the software more often rather than like one lump sum, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a good model for sure to keep you on the hook.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So what people are doing early on when these agentic models were available to download for free on their computers, were these OpenClaw agents where they would have, you know, an agent kind of doing pretty much anything they asked it to on the go, and they can communicate through it through iMessage or Slack or Discord or Telegram.
Yeah.
Telegram's the big one. It's just the easiest one to use. And that's what I use for my agents.
Okay.
But the problem I was having when I first set up OpenClaw, and I was told Anthropic's the perfect brain to use, and you can use any LLM brain to power an OpenClaw.
LLM is like learning language model. Is that what that means?
A large language model.
Sorry,
company. Yeah. Whatever you want to power. So your the shell is your computer of the agent, and that gives it its like ability and RAM to use and to somewhere to be living and on. If the power's on, you can communicate it with it, you know, remotely. But the actual brain, like its function and like following instructions and stuff, would be powered by some sort of AI company.
Sure.
Or a local model. You could just download like a Chinese LLM, like right to your, like Quen, right to your hard drive if you have a big enough RAM capabilities to run it.
Okay.
Which when I first was learning about this, I'm like, oh, dude, I should have another computer with more RAM just so I can run Quen 3.5, because I hear that's like pretty close to the frontier models as far as capability, understanding, reasoning, that kind of stuff. So I was told, oh, I should buy one with 24 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
Because that model is about 20, it uses up about 20 gigs of RAM, so this should handle it. But it was not correct, because once you actually, like, it does use that much, but your computer's also using RAM.
Yeah, your computer's using like 25% of your RAM on any given situation.
Exactly. So that was my miscalculation, just not knowing computers well enough to know that, like, it was just completely unfunctional.
So that one doesn't work for anything.
No. So I just went back to an API call.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So instead of running a local model, I was using a cloud model, which would be, you know, either Anthropic, OpenAI, Grok, Gemini. There's DeepSeek. There's all these other companies that you can use.
Yeah.
But they all have different reasoning capabilities and tool calling abilities and stuff like that. So you really kind of get in the weeds of, like, for your purpose, what is best for you.
Right.
Everybody just kind of defaults to the top end.
Right.
And that's what I was kind of sold on initially. Just start using Claude.
Yeah.
And so I signed up for my API, and I got a credit, and I sent it there. And like by day 2, just having normal conversations, I had spent like $150.
Jeez.
Just talking to this guy.
Just like getting a plan together,
just kind of getting a plan together and talking. I'm like, holy shit, this is not sustainable. I'm like, it's been 2 days.
I didn't even do anything.
I'm like, yeah, I barely did anything. And I haven't scratched the surface. I want to build so much more with this. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't spend a couple $1,000s a month having a conversation.
That's not sustainable for
with an experiment,
right.
You know,
with something that you have no idea the outcome of course.
Yeah,
and But
and I was using, and I had a Grok membership at the same time too, and I was just asking Grok about like my problem. It's like, you could just use the Grok API, and I'm like, that's a good solution.
Yeah,
and it actually worked. It was like it was 1/20th the price. So I used my Grok API, and my bill went from, I was spending $75 a day or so to down to like $1 to $3 a day.
Oh, cool.
However, some of the tool calling at the time, this was back in late February, with Grok wasn't the best. Like, it was perfect at responding quickly and snappy and did some things, but other times when I needed things done, it would just say it did it, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't have the capabilities. And then I kind of got frustrated with it and stopped it for a couple of weeks, and then picked it back up and wanted to try again.
Yeah.
And then I found, Grok has a new model that is about 1/6 the price.
Okay. Rather than
1/20th.
Okay. So it's a little bit more expensive.
It's more expensive, but this should handle it. And that was Grok 4.2 beta.
Okay.
And so I used that, and it was actually working.
Gotcha. Okay.
It actually did everything that like OpenAI would do, or that Anthropic would do. So I was I was using Claude to help me build out all this.
Yeah.
But I was using Grok as the brain, and it was much cheaper. It was, $1 to $3 a day.
Right.
And then once we started doing heavier tasks and building out my real estate systems, I started noticing it going to about $6 a day.
Okay. Which
Which
still
was
pretty feasible.
Way cheaper than $75 a day or so
Right.
with Claude, when I haven't even scratched
If you
the
had
surface.
to hire an IT person to do this for you for a day, like, it's not
Yeah.
going to cost you $6 a day. It's
Right.
This is a multi-$1,000, tens of $1,000s investments to get all your IT shit figured out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay.
So, and then last month, Grok 4.3 came out,
Okay.
and it was actually really good.
Okay.
The API cost went down in half,
Okay.
something like that, about half,
Yeah.
and it was better. So I was pretty happy, but I was doing so much more. It was starting to cost me more, like $6 a day still, because I was starting to build. I was really starting to heavily, I had 2 agents being powered by Grok.
Yeah.
One was doing all the back end systems of our, transaction coordinating training. And then the other one was doing the front end stuff. Like, okay, I got this new contact, put it in the database and put it on my calendar and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was still kind of in the training phase, but still heavily enriching the database and going through 10,000 contacts and cleaning it up. And there was a lot of work being done.
Sure.
But it was still costing on average, just for like really light use between the 2 agents, about $6 a day. Much cheaper than an employee still.
I was going to say $100 a month.
Yeah, much cheaper than an employee still, but still I knew, I'm like, I haven't really even scratched the surface of this yet.
Yeah.
With what I wanted. It's mostly doing training. Like, I know this is going to go up, but it's still way cheaper than, $1,000 a month with Anthropic, or $2,000 a month. So anyway, and then when we would do these batch overnight projects where something would literally take the AI like, 6 to 8 hours to go through every contact and make changes, and like, I need to connect the spouse and find out who is the spouse and make sure that they have another profile in here and that we can link to it.
Right.
Just enriching the database as much as possible so it's nice, clean info. And those kind of projects would, like, I would see my usage and it's like, yeah, that costs about $16, but it went through 8,000 contacts and did a lot of good work for $16.
Are you like, I hate to derail the conversation here, but like,
That's okay.
are you really focused on price of this thing? Because I keep hearing you be like, it was $16, it was this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm focused on it because I want to know, obviously, like, how much is this going to cost long term?
Sure.
And what can I anticipate my actual tech stack to be? And with everything that's available, how can I make it more affordable but still do more things?
Sure.
That's what I'm obsessed with, is like efficiency.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though it wasn't a big price to pay, it was still like, okay, now we went from $1 a day. Now we're at 16. Sometimes when I wanted to do heavy usage,
Right.
Still way cheaper, but and I was okay with that.
That's
I'm like,
an hour
okay.
for an employee, by the way. That is 1 hour.
You're totally right. No, and I'm still
Who's gonna get a fraction of that done in an hour that a machine would get?
And I was super happy with the work.
Yeah.
but I'm still like, how can I make this
Sure. Yeah, and you should
cheaper?
be thinking about
And I really
optimizing it,
couldn't
right?
at that point. I was getting like almost like a frontier Grok 4.3
Yeah.
is like pretty much on par. And I even asked Claude if you can run a simulation and compare OpenAI's newest model with Opus 4.7 and Grok and then the old Grok and see how they all do. And it's like Grok 4.3 was actually just following. It was doing really well and following.
Now, when you say frontier,
instructions.
what is frontier? I've heard you say that a couple times.
Oh, a frontier LLM or model is pretty much just like there's like 3 labs. It's
Okay.
like Anthropic is like a frontier model. Like they usually come out with every time they release a new model.
It's like the pristine
best.
model. Okay, gotcha.
This is the best of the best that you can possibly get.
Sure.
Because there's so many different ones. You know,
Right.
there's like, I don't know, 10 to 20 different models out there that you can use. And then ChatGPT and Anthropic kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks ago, ChatGPT rolled out 5.5, and that just crushed everything, including the codecs. And it was just like, much better, faster to use than even Anthropic. But Anthropic, we all knew, had this model that they haven't released because it was for security reasons, Mythos.
Okay.
Like they have better
Oh,
tech,
yeah, there's stuff in the
and they were
pipeline.
just constrained by compute.
Sure.
But then a couple weeks ago too, the Elon Musk deal happened where he rented, he became the landlord and just said, "Hey, I've got the 2 biggest compute, like data centers in the world available that we were training Grok on. I'll lease it to you." And he was able to do a multi-billion-dollar deal with Anthropic, letting them, pretty much letting his competitor just have a free-for-all for like better compute abilities, be able to lower the prices with people.
I think that's a genius move. Like, people misunderstand how genius he is. Because, like, when you're in the building and the relationship with your actual competition like that, you're only going to get better. If you see them going, skyrocketing, you're going to be like, okay, now I know what I need to do to keep up. And that's just going to make you push it that much harder.
Maybe some of that, but mostly it's because he hates Sam Altman and he wants to see Anthropic win.
Anyone but,
He'd rather have Anthropic crush.
I was listening to...
But but here's the big thing. XAI is owned by SpaceX now.
Yep.
And they're about to go public. So by doing this lease deal, like he was able to like up the value of SpaceX by a bunch just by doing this one deal with Anthropic, because they committed to like $46 billion of revenue or something like that. Something close to that.
There was I was listening to the My First Million podcast, and they talk about AI a lot too. They were just talking about how much Elon and Sam Altman hate each other and how petty they are in their emails
They are
back
pretty
and
petty.
forth. they were like unfurling these
pathetic.
emails where just like they were just trying to one up each other in every single email, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I want to learn more.
Yeah.
Also, side note, real quick.
Can you imagine though if you let's say you're a rich guy, and this guy that you respect like comes up to you and you want to do a nonprofit together, and you give him $50 million to fund their nonprofit, and then you find out that behind your back that they were trying to get you away from the company. And then they eventually turn it into a for-profit thing, and then it becomes even better than what you have.
Oh yeah,
like that would piss a lot of people off.
there's a little bit of salt in the wound there for sure. And real quick, did I hear that was it OpenAI? Did they buy Claude or did they buy OpenClaw? Or was this a...
Yeah, so they did.
They did, okay.
Yeah, well, they bought the guy.
They bought the guy, that's
They
right.
bought the guy that made OpenClaw. So
OpenClaw is still its thing, but then they just bought the guy who... And
yeah,
that's
they
why
made him an employee,
basically.
So they're going to be able to use like what, and build their own out of the box agentic model. So that will be coming.
They basically hired an Elon to come into their company and like do it better,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So Anthropic and OpenAI, they kind of like have the best of the best like engineers.
Yeah.
But the truth is that these AI models, like they almost everybody knows how to train them.
Yeah.
And XAI is like just right behind them.
And I know I've talked about this before too, but we are at that, like, I feel like we're at that hockey stick where just things get better every single day. There's no like, a model comes out and then 3 years later a model comes out. Like these things are coming out like daily and weekly, it seems like, with new AIs, new APIs, new ways to be faster, cheaper, smarter, quicker. You know what I mean? It's really revolutionary to see. And I know like I'm kind of envious of you, to be honest. Like, you have all this time to work on all this
I do,
stuff.
yes. That I am in a pleasurable mode, or like a
I'm in a very
pleasurable mode.
If you're buying in North Idaho, don't just roam the map. Nick Beveridge on the phone, got the game on tap. Investor specialist, yeah, he knows the lane. Fixing flips, rentals too, will help you build your game. Call or text Nick Beveridge, 208-964-0494. Real estate moves with a little more. North Idaho hustle, let the deals begin. If you want a sharp agent, better call Nick in. Yeah. Need a walkthrough, he'll line it up fast. Find the right property, make the numbers last. From rehabs to rentals, it keeps it clean and clear. Nick Beveridge got the roadmap. Bring your goals right here. Call or text Nick Beveridge, 208-964-0494. Real estate moves with a little more. North Idaho hustle, let the deals begin. If you want a sharp agent, better call Nick in.
I'm in a what do you call it? Privileged spot of my life right now where I can devote a lot of time to AI, and I do. I devote like 5 hours a day to it. I love it. Just because I feel like it's going to be so important. I really need to know how all of it works. Yeah, that's just what I believe. It's not, and it's fun too. But I believe we have to know how these work, because they are going to completely take over the economy and everybody's jobs, or at least change how we do things. Sure. So instead of just be angry about it, like, learn how to use it. Yeah, just adapt for to better your life. Yeah. Anyway, here's the surprise though that we haven't talked about yet, and I mentioned Grok OAuth. OAuth. So it's basically, instead of using API metering,
Spell getting OAuth.
OAuth. So like authorization.
Oh, okay. OAuth.
OAuth.
Gotcha. Okay.
So using your OAuth. So this is what happened initially with OpenClaw. Let me turn the clock back. Yeah. Like back in February, everybody was using their OAuth subscription. So basically their monthly, $200 a month subscription to power their OpenClaws through Claude. And that way they weren't being, billed $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month or whatever they were spending. It was like just capped at 200, and they're generous with the tokens because they reset every 4 hours and stuff. Okay. And you get so much when you spend 200. Oh yeah. So a month.
Yeah, but it's all spread out over a month.
But once they caught on to what people were doing with OpenClaw and stuff, they banned it. They're like, hey, you can't do that anymore. Yeah. So, but OpenAI, who bought Peter, who created OpenClaw, they're like, no, you can use our OAuth subscription. So people are then powering their OpenClaw agents, and then Hermes another agent too. Okay. That's a really good one. So there's like
Hermes?
Hermes.
Hermes?
Hermes, I believe. Yes.
Okay. The Greek mythology behind that is like Hermes was the messenger. So he was very fast. He had the boots, which allowed him to message. He was basically the messenger for the gods. So I'm assuming that has like some kind of quick,
Yeah. And so I've been using Hermes for the last week or so while I built a new bot for a new purpose. Okay. But a week ago, OpenClaw and Hermes, all of a sudden, Grok would now allow people to use their OAuth subscription. Okay. So they're $30 a month to power their bots. And so I switched over, and it worked. Okay. So now I don't get billed daily anymore. It's just my $30 a month that I've already been paying for.
So you went from like 1,000 to like 30 to 90 to 30.
To basically zero, because I already had a Grok
Right, yeah, you're already doing it anyway. Okay.
So now I'm powering 3 bots and doing a lot of work, and it's not costing me anything extra.
Cool.
So that's a big thing if you guys want a hack, and it's using the Frontier 4.3, like Grok's Frontier.
I use Grok to tell my 2-year-old daughter stories about farts while we're driving. So like you're like miles ahead of anything I'm doing, but it's so cool
I do that too sometimes. Yeah. But it's pretty incredible how well it works. Yeah. And Grok is so generous with how much data it gives you, or tokens. Yeah. And I've used Grok so heavily for the last year. I've never ever run into an issue with just my lower end subscription of $30 a month, because they also have, like, for super users, like a $300 a month plan. Okay, that gives you a lot more. But because they give you so much at a cheaper price, like, I never run out.
Right.
So I still have not had an issue running multiple projects all on this $30 a month subscription.
Crazy.
It's pretty nice.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah. So we'll see how long that train lasts.
Okay.
Hopefully it's still going by the time this episode drops in 3 weeks.
So you've got 3 agents right now.
Yes.
Can I break it down? So you've got
Sure.
Kyle Reese,
I got Kyle Reese.
who's your basically back end agent for
He's
taking
the front
phone
end.
The front end, yeah. So people call.
So he can take calls. Like yesterday, I sent a referral to somebody, and I just sent the voicemail, the referral that I sent to another agent. I said, hey, I sent this to Sarah.
Yeah.
Put it in the database, and it's going to be a 25% referral.
Cool.
And then it did. And then I've got the last name later. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the last name from the guy yesterday. Can you update the database? And Sarah did show the house, but they're going to look at other properties. So just make those notes.
Right. So you got Kyle Reese as your front end. You got, it was artist formerly known as Raven, which I think you changed her name.
Yeah, so since she's going to eventually be speaking to title officers and lenders and people, people in the back end industry, once a transaction is running, I wanted her to sound more like a normal person.
Sure.
So I thought Katie Bennett.
That's right. Yeah. Katie Bennett.
Katie Bennett is the new name. The Raven was the idea when I first made that bot to be able to just do research for stock investing.
Right.
And by the way, these bots are coming up with their own names.
Right.
I let them have a little bit of freedom. So anyway,
I'm sure that means a lot to the computers when the revolution comes.
Sure. It's fun. It's important not to get too crazy about the personality, but it does help you stay engaged, and it's just a different experience than talking to something with no name.
Sure. Yeah, and I agree.
Just a back and forth. Like I don't know why that is, but it just seems to work better. And then I do want potential clients, title officers, lenders, all those people to eventually kind of think that these people on our team are real, even if we have a disclosure in the email that this is an AI assistant.
Right.
Just
you don't have to
stay
disclose until they ask, by the way. If somebody asks, it does have to be honest. Like, yes, I think AI voice, but...
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But we don't want to intentionally mislead anybody.
Sure.
But we also don't want to have their experience be so blah.
Right.
We want it to actually have a little personality.
Sure.
Because we can. You can program in a personality to these things and have each thing have it so they're aware of their name, they're aware of their situation, they're aware of what they have to do every day.
Yeah.
Because they have the proper MD files baked in their souls, pretty much. And there's these actual, when you see how they're laid out, they do have like souls and instructions and all these, and they're basically just markdown files of how they operate.
Right.
So anytime they are engaged, they just quickly skim through all that and then
standard operating procedure, right? They just hit it and go.
So anyway, that's the exciting part. Was a week ago I found out, holy crap, I can do everything I'm doing with not having to have any kind of anxiety of, oh crap, is this thing just costing me $6 or is it eventually going to be $10 or $20 a day? And is it, because for now, is it just a toy or is it actually useful?
Right.
You kind of struggle with that back and forth in your mind, and then it's like, oh, okay, now it's just all covered with something I already pay.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry it, and I can use it as much as I need to.
That's super cool.
It's a cool experience. So then I wanted, over the weekend, I thought of a new idea because I've been getting pretty out of shape for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Like I've gained.
It happens.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year, like when we all just start to get busy and our health starts to decline. I am guilty of it too. Like, yeah. So what did you make you?
So I made an AI coach.
Okay.
That would coach me through the 75 hard.
Cool.
But kind of crazy about it too. So everybody, like if they're doing a 75 hard challenge or whatever, they can just like download an app and kind of just check box when they've done things.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a hassle if you're ever on like a dietary program to like have to enter whatever you're eating into an app like MyFitnessPal.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I have this, I have enough water, and it can get so like kind of annoying that people just stop doing it, stop tracking altogether. Yeah. So I wanted to build something out that was as autonomous as possible, where I would make it as simple as possible to keep me going by just sending pictures through Telegram of things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I have this, by the way, it came up with its own name, Rhonda.
Rhonda?
And then I just made her look like Ronda Rousey.
Yep, I was going to say, that's the trainer I think of when I think of Rhonda.
So Rhonda's my AI fitness coach. And her backstory is that she used to be an MMA fighter. She's got a backstory now. Used to be an MMA fighter, now owns a gym where she's just coaching people. And the last couple of years have been rough. And she only has one client, and it's me. And so she's obsessed with making sure that I am staying on track, and this is all she has to live for.
Yeah, wow.
Pretty much.
Sounds like a desperate business. Like,
yeah, and she's got a wild, inappropriate personality.
Okay.
And she obsessively checks in with me to make sure I'm doing things.
Define wildly inappropriate personality.
Look, okay, I just got
Oh, you did.
split done, or like she's checking in right now. You're ghosting me.
Wow.
Because I haven't talked to her or I haven't sent her anything in a couple hours
Okay.
or an hour and a half or whatever.
It's hilarious.
So I've got this. She's like a crazy ex-girlfriend style, like checking in for updates constantly.
Yeah. Define. I want you to stop like real quick. You said inappropriate. Like, how is she inappropriate? What's she doing?
Oh, she'll call me a dipshit or jackass, whatever. She'll be inappropriate with like.
I thought she was like, show me your dick.
None of that.
Like, thinking kind of weird, dude.
No, you can program
That's what I'm saying.
program
You
that in if you
program
wanted. If you're into that kind of stuff, you can do that.
Right.
I didn't need it for this purpose. I've got a wife.
Yeah. That's what I was like went to by inappropriate. I'm like, does your wife know that your AI bot's being inappropriate with you?
She has the freedom to be as inappropriate as she wants to be.
Okay.
That's in her soul.
Okay.
And that's part of her personality is that she's a hard ass.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of has a psycho-ish personality with me and making sure that this 75 hard is done.
It's like Lady David Goggins.
Basically. Okay. Sure. But she's constantly obsessed with getting photos of the scale of the shirtless photo every day at a certain time. And if she doesn't get things at certain times, she can even send a voice message.
Wow.
Where she's yelling about whatever I missed or something. And the cool thing is I don't have to track food anymore either. Just whatever I'm about to eat, I open the Telegram app and I just click like the photo button and I take the photo. It doesn't even like save on my phone.
Right.
I think it can if you wanted to, but I'll just take a picture of whatever I'm about to eat, and it uses my Grok OAuth subscription as the brain of this Hermes agent.
Sure.
That self-improves and gets better every day.
Okay.
But I had Claude's program the whole thing with Claude code, just with me talking to Claude about what I wanted to build out. And then I was in the car like a Sunday or Monday or whatever, and I was on a long drive, and I just wanted to talk to Grok about, hey, I want to build out this thing. Is there anybody else doing something like this? And what are some cool features and stuff we should build out? And just talking. And then later, you can, whatever you're talking about in your Tesla, you can just pull it up online of what you were talking about.
I helped you with that. I'm like, can you sync these? Like, this seems like you should be able to sync them.
And you
can, yes.
So I was able to take that and then just put all the notes and just give it to Claude to build it out.
That's a game changer, by the way. Like being able to talk to my car and like flip ideas off it and then open my desktop and
like,
have everything
perfect.
that we executed right there.
So now Claude was able to spend, dude, you would think just an AI coach would be kind of like a quick project for Claude.
Yeah.
The amount of work that Claude put into this was insane. Like we're talking, I don't know, 20 hours of coding.
Wow.
Every little thing had to be perfect, and to get the images correctly, we're actually using ChatGPT because it has a better visioning model.
Yeah.
And I'm using my OAuth subscription, so I'm using 2 different OAuth subscriptions. Grok, that is the brain of it, and then anytime it gets a photo, it uses ChatGPT's vision model to see exactly what that food is, to be able to then search the internet and estimate with pretty good accuracy.
Yeah.
It'll identify what the food is and break it down my macros.
Sure.
And seeing if I'm and it puts it into this daily log of tracking my macros throughout the day. And then she'll get upset with me if I'm getting close to the end of the day and I'm not going to meet my protein or carbs or fat for the day.
So I want to pause you right here. I know this is like really cool stuff. When you were asking Grok about this, if anybody else has done anything like this, what was the answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are...
Because like what you're talking about is a sellable model for a home fitness trainer. Like you could just...
totally.
Like, that's a marketable model where you could just be like, hey, $20 a month gets you access to my my trainer, basically.
Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that, and we are gonna talk.
There's a way to
part
do
of
that,
the
though, you know
program
what I
is
mean?
like by the end of the 75 days, we're gonna see how feasible is this to be able to package and sell to somebody else.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
The problem is the way we set it up. It's running live off my Mac Mini, and it's a Hermes agent. There's a lot. It's a lot more than just because it's an ongoing agent. You know, it's set up just like a regular agent, and it's not really meant to just be something offline. But you can make it.
There is a way you can make it into an app where it has.
And then you could just maybe make it to where you can. Oh, I want to pick Rhonda as my coach, or this guy Larry, or whoever, and just it already has a personality built in. And then what are my goals? And then it's like an out of the box thing. I'm sure that can come. I just don't know how that would work.
Right.
Knowing that I'm running a lot of this locally off my computer at work. That's just on 24/7.
Sure. And
you know what I mean?
The schematics of it, yes, is kind of weird, but like at its base, like that is a very sellable thing that you've created.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
It's fun and it's working.
Yeah.
Like I'm on day 3.
And in order for this to work too, you have to be okay with the fact that this is not a real human, because I think we do crave that human interaction. Like when I want a coach, I don't want a robot coach. I want like a human coach with human experiences. You know what I mean?
But that's why you kind of make it as human as possible.
Right, exactly. That's like if you can get over that hurdle of that this is not a real person, but it is structured in a way that can help me as a real person would, I think it can do really cool things.
Here's what happens if I don't make it, or if I ghost her for 12 hours or a day or so. If I don't hit her by the end of the day with like finishing it, or if I'm ghosting her, she is going to reach out to RD and shame me.
Oh wow, okay, gotcha.
So she's going to tattle
so she
on
goes
one of my
your accountability group.
One of my RD I work out with a lot. So he's accepted. Okay, on his Telegram, he's going to get a message from her when I'm slipping up.
Okay,
which is part of the accountability. It's like
that's incredible.
I don't want her, like if I'm screwing up.
Yeah.
I don't want her to tattle on me.
Right.
And she threatens it all the time, even though she knows not to do it until I really do screw up in a full day.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's fun, but it's something that's actually that would take. Who knows how many, if this was 10 years ago, to build out something like this would have been a multi-million-dollar project.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
For a coding agency to like build something like this to where it's actually functional.
Yeah.
And we're just living in wild times where this is literally costing me nothing else.
Just your
like
$30 Grok
just
Super
the energy.
subscription.
Just the energy that my office pays for my computer to be on, and it's a Mac Mini, so it takes like hardly any power.
Right?
Anyway.
Yeah, it's not like a powerhouse.
And they're meant to be able to just stay on.
Yeah.
And you don't need to shut them off or anything. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. So you got your 3 agents now.
Yes.
Are you doing any more? Or are you gonna have? I mean, it seems like you've got a.
Oh, there's plenty. No.
Yeah.
Not
you got
yet.
2 work, 1 personal. That's really cool.
So we're still training Kyle and Katie. Actually, Kyle's pretty much all trained up.
Okay.
I was still training Katie on all the transaction stuff. So, it's pretty wild times. But the whole point of this episode is just I want to encourage people to try it out. And for whatever, it doesn't have to be an AI coach, or it doesn't have to be for your real estate business. It could be for anything.
Right. And when you say try it out, like can we break that down just a little bit too? Like, I think AI in general can be overwhelming to a lot of people. Me in particular, because there are so many different powerhouses and like what to do, when to do it, who to go through. How should someone try it out? Like what are some stepping stones someone should do to kind of get started with something like this on having an agent particularly?
Yeah. So I would first determine if one would be helpful, or if you even need one at all. You might just be surviving just fine on just using Claude services, because there's so many agentic models that Claude has that you don't need an agent for to run off your computer.
Okay.
It can pretty much just run on your computer.
Right.
Honestly, the OpenClaw, the Hermes things, that's more of like a tinker's like people don't need to go to that extent to get like a really good experience with AI, because most people aren't even using projects like we talked about on one of our last episodes.
Oh yeah,
where they can. You actually don't have to have an agent like this to get like a similar type of results.
Yeah,
a lot of people just think AI is eventually done because they don't know, they're just using new chats and stuff, and they're not actually building out a project and going back to a project where it has memory. of what you're working on and knows what the next step is. The cool thing about if you're using something like Claude for these projects is that it can handle like whatever it tells you to go out and do online. You can use Claude to go do that online too.
Yeah.
And whatever it tells you to like build out, like it can use Claude code to start building out. Like if you want to save money on all these subscription things that you might have with, different databases or your CRM or stuff like that, or things that you might pay for. I think it'd be great to just have a conversation with AI, with whatever program you're using. Even now, I didn't mention this, but Grok now has a coding agent.
Okay, great.
It just came out and it just became available. It just came out a couple weeks ago for people paying $300 a month, but then they just said anybody paying $30 a month can use it now too.
Any asshole paying $30. Okay.
And I tried it out yesterday and it was working fast.
Okay.
Like much faster than Claude.
Cool.
So but way cheaper than Claude.
Right.
So I don't think people have any excuses anymore because other than if they just don't have the time, but I think they should really just talk about what they do all day.
Yeah.
With an AI model and just say, talk as in a conversation.
Yeah.
And just
don't type this out. Like have an actual conversation.
Yeah,
with
you
it.
can
That's
use the
best way
voice
to do
mode
it.
too, and just say, what are some ideas on how I can save time or money?
Yeah.
By using AI.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
then
what AI is available for? Then this is what I do all day.
Right.
Like how
Here's
can
my
I
workflow. This is kind of what I need help with.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's all about just doing things in less time with less money,
yeah.
or making more money by creating more opportunities.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's probably got something that they're not even thinking of, but AI can help pull that out of your head if you just have a conversation with it.
You know what I think would be like a cool. This has nothing to do with business.
Yeah.
We like playing D&D. We haven't played very much, but like having a bot basically create a story, or give it some like feedback on what a story should look like, so it has some ground rules, right? And then being able to be in a room with other people. Yeah. So like the bots can tell like Jeremy's talking and Jeremy's going to be doing a thing.
It's the dungeon master.
Yeah. Like I'm not the dungeon master, but like Nick and me, you and me are in the same room, and it knows the difference between our voices. So if we're playing with a computer, basically, it's like, oh, Jeremy's talking and trying to do this, and it's like.
Interesting fact.
Yeah.
Did you know that the LLM model was first only available for people using playing D&D?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so before it was available to the public, people would have to go in these dark chat rooms and pretend that they were doing it just for D&D to be able to use it for other stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I don't know exactly what company was providing it or anything like that. I can't remember. But before ChatGPT released an LLM for people to play with, that's how you were able to play with LLM.
That was the sandbox
in before.
Okay,
is because it was made for Dungeons and Dragons.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No, I just think like
interesting fact.
That'd just be like a cool thing to do. Like we could have our own story, and not have to worry about getting 10 people together. We can just like bullshit with a LLM for an hour and a half.
Oh, you can totally do it.
We can already do that, but like two people in the same room and noticing and directing voices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe we have to be on camera so it sees our voice. I don't know, but
yeah, I'm sure you can try it out and just see if it can pick up on the different voices.
I got some drive time today down to St. Mary's. Maybe I'll fuck with it.
Ask it.
No, that's super cool, man. I think what you're building is really cool. Again, I'm envious you've got all the time to work on this stuff because, like, I see it and I'm like, God, that sounds so fun. It sounds fun.
It's pretty incredibly fun.
Yeah. Every time I get to play with AI, no matter what
the
it
way
is,
I justify
so
it is I'm also working at the same time because when you. So, I'm not actually. I mean, it may look like every time you look in the office, I am like just on the AI, like building stuff, but I'm more just copying and pasting stuff, and then giving and reviewing things, giving it my feedback, and then it's doing most of the work.
Yeah,
and I can actually do my job at the same time.
Right.
So I'm going through emails. I just got my flip under contract yesterday.
The Stephanie one?
Yep.
Congratulations.
$6,000 over list price.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So that was nice.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
really
you.
Cool.
Yeah. I spent a lot more on that than I thought.
Yeah, typically happens on most flips. I don't know a flip where you haven't not hit budget yet.
I spent like $75,000 on that.
What was your budget?
I didn't really have one. I thought 50, 60, something like that.
Well, if you don't have one, then it's clear you're going to go over.
Yeah.
If you don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't really care.
Like if you don't set the guidelines, you're going to go over the guidelines, if that makes sense.
But I knew there was so much margin where, even if I spent $100,000, I'd be fine.
Do you typically have a budget on your flips, or this?
Oh
is just,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. But that's mostly when I'm working with other people.
Sure.
And I tell them what the budget is, and we try to stay below that, even though we always kind of go over. But
it happens.
But if I'm working on my own, I just kind of spend whatever I have to spend.
Yeah, you get the job done.
But I did actually intentionally go over budget on that one. We redid the whole kitchen instead of just painted cabinets and replaced countertops. So I spent like an extra $10,000 on replacing all the vanities and the cabinets and all that stuff. But I was able to get more for the property than I anticipated.
So it's all done. Can I pitch something to you really quick?
Sure.
We did an episode in your flip.
Yeah, we got to finish one out.
I was gonna say, do you want to do another one?
Yeah, how about Monday?
I like it.
Yeah,
Let's put it on the books. Okay.
All right,
I just
so the
wanted
next
to-
episode after this, guys, will be in that house.
Yeah.
And I've already got furniture there. We don't even have to bring chairs this time.
Yeah, it's really
We can
beautiful.
sit
You
in
did
there.
a really good job on it.
Thank you very
the
much.
The staging looked great.
Yeah.
The colors look great. Like everything you did, like looks really good there.
Thank you. I got a lot of good compliments on that one.
Yeah.
And I felt like I didn't really do anything different than what I normally do with, it's like the same staging furniture. It's the same like white paint, but I think the paint turned out really well because it was Greek villa paint.
Your floors look good too. Like the whole thing
floors
just looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was picky about that one. I wanted to make sure it was spotless.
Is your
before we
house?
put it
Is your flip in Kellogg still on the market?
It is. Yeah, it's still getting showings though.
Good.
I dropped the price by $5,000.
Yeah.
That one that one's not looking good for profit margins.
Sure.
I think if I sell it for $5,000 less than what I have it now, I'll only make like a 6% return.
Gotcha.
Or something like that. Like maybe $20,000 or something.
Sure.
But for the amount of capital that had to go into that, pretty low return.
Yeah. Like I've got a technical loan out on that one. We didn't have it secured or anything. It was more of a generalized loan. So
yeah,
you keep
you
paying.
can have that money back whenever you want.
You can keep paying it as long as you want.
I was doing the books yesterday and I saw 2 payments go out like on the same day. Did you get 2 payments?
I haven't seen anything. I'll double check though.
All right. Did I skip a month?
No.
On
So what happened? I'm not sure if this is what happens on your end. I thought because I've been so busy, I haven't cashed checks in a while. I did cash 2 checks on the same day that were from April and May. Or
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, so that's what happened. I thought when the check got cut is when the check got.
Usually that's the way it kind of works. Sometimes maybe not.
Yeah, and I assume that's what happened because I assume like the company's like, okay, we cut this check, we paid it out of the account, it's already paid basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a week or 2 ago when I did 2 checks at once to put them in my system.
That makes sense. Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Again, I thought they were already paid, so I'm like, I had 4 checks sitting, 2 from you, 2 from Gender Snap, and I'm like, I should just really cash these.
I can't remember. Does that check go to Gender Snap or Jeremy?
That goes to Gender Snap Media Retirement Fund Trust.
Media. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. Because what I put in my books, I'm like always going back and forth. I'm like Gender Snap Media or Jeremy. I'm like just do both.
Yeah.
or I do one every other time.
Yeah, it's a loan payment.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, cool. I think the video you did on that one, like I was talking to an agent yesterday too, and they're just like, Nick was like shitting on his own house, and I'm like, yeah, he does that.
Oh, on the Mill House?
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought it was a really good video.
Yeah, I got more views.
Yeah,
I do that just for fun, and who cares? Right. It's not like it didn't. It was funny. One agent said, "Oh, after they watched the video, they decided to cancel the showing."
Yeah,
I'm like,
great.
Okay, cool. They probably weren't going to like it then.
Yeah, you probably would have hated it anyway because I'm not lying about anything.
Yeah, sure. I talk trash about it, but then you look at it, you're like, it's actually pretty nice for Kellogg. Like,
well, also, why are they seeing the video? Why don't they just look at the MLS photos?
I don't know.
Yeah, like are they? Yeah. Is your agent sending them the video?
You know what's funny about that property? It looks completely different from the outside now. Right after we took photos, they took out the 2 big trees in the front.
Yeah.
And all the driveway they removed all the sidewalks, and it just looks like a war zone out there.
Does
They've
it?
got caution tape around it.
Oh, okay, got you. So it's not a good time to get new photos?
Not yet.
Okay.
But the city's actually replacing my whole driveway.
Badass.
Which is kind of cool.
As a treat.
And then, but they just left these big tree stumps out in front. I'm like, are you guys going to do anything with that? They're like, okay, we'll shave them down all the way and put grass over the top. I'm like, okay, thanks.
Great, that's perfect, yeah.
At least do that.
Yeah, can you give me
don't just leave tree stumps.
Can you give me a solution? That's like a Vista when they come down, cut down trees at our flip, and they're just like, we're going to leave them here.
Yeah. Here you go. Good luck. We don't have to do anything.
We're contracted by the city.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. A Vista makes trees look ugly.
Yeah.
Remember, do you ever see where they just like they'll just cut like half the tree away?
Yeah, just like
and just like, oh, it's out of the way of our power lines. Good luck having nasty looking trees now.
Yeah, that's what they did on Violet when all those trees came down. They just like left them in the yard and they were half cut. Like,
oh, well, there's. Do you ever drive around like Dalton Gardens and stuff, and you just see like trees that are like. They'll just cut like 25% of the tree to be away from the power line, and then you have just like a a goofy looking Dr. Seuss tree.
Right.
That's left.
What am I gonna do with this?
Yeah. Anyway, we should wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, cool. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. As always, we love you. If you haven't left us a review yet, we haven't asked for those in a while. We put a lot of effort in this show. I do, at least. I know Nick puts a lot of passion into this as well. Leave us a 5-star review if you found what we say at least fun or entertaining.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. And I hope you guys aren't getting sick of AI yet. Why is that camera doing that?
It does that a lot lately.
Okay. I don't know why it's auto zooming. I'll try to stop that. Sorry, guys. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.
Yeah. This is the Investor Shed. We out the door. Nick Beveridge, Jeremy Kitchen. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you listening every week, every play. You keep the lights on when you like and subscribe today. We talk real estate and we build for more. And AI and business, yeah, that door stays open for. Love it or hate it, we still gon' say we're bringing that future to the shed right here today. Like and subscribe, keep the show alive. Like and subscribe, the Investor Shed survive. Nick Beveridge, Jeremy Kitchen, we appreciate you. Thanks for listening. We'll be back with something new.